Good morning, my dear students. So, welcome to your biology online tutorial classes, and this is Somadev sir. We will be studying the particular chapter nervous system that we were continuing in our previous class. So, we will be studying that. We are following this for class 8, Connect with Science, the book name, and of Oxford publication. So, we have already completed the autonomic type of nervous system that we have, neuron, then other part of the chapter we have already completed. So, today we will be studying from the reflex action. What do we mean by reflex action? A reflex action is a certain involuntary response of the body brought about by a stimulus. It happens without thinking. For example, you are accidentally placing your hand on a sharp pin. Your hand is immediately removed before you even have time to think. This is a reflex action. Similarly, when you touch a hot object, your hand moves away from it immediately. This is also called a reflex action. Most of our reflex actions are controlled by the spinal cord. Hence, they are very quick action. There is a neural pathway involved in a reflex action called a reflex arc. So, what is a reflex action? See, sometimes what happens, our body responds to the stimulus or to the outside surroundings without even getting us the without even thinking. Okay, suppose there is a plate in your kitchen, you went there and you just like touch it. Okay, now it is hot. Before your mother told you that it is hot, do not touch, you just touched it. What happened? You immediately move away your hand. Why? Otherwise it would have been like you have touched the plate, you have felt like, oh, okay, it is hot, I shouldn't do that, just harming my body, I am removing the hand and going away. Is it happening? No. What happened? You just touch the hot plate and it is, oh my god, what a hot plate. Okay, so this is what a reflex action is known as. Also, the pathway for which this message travels to your spinal cord and from your spinal cord to your body or to your part of the body to respond is very quick, and it is done with the help of a particular pathway which is known as a reflex arc. Okay, clear? See, what is reflex arc? It is the shortest path taken by a nerve impulse to travel from a receptor to an effector in a reflex action is called a reflex arc. Now, if it would have been normally went through our nerves, then it would have been taken a long time to reach the spinal cord or the brain and from there to respond to that particular situation. But in case of reflex action, what happens? It is traveled through a reflex arc which continuously in the shortest path the message gets traveled from the receptor. The receptor means where you touch the hot plate and to the effector, that is you need to remove your hand. Clear? See, what are the components of a reflex arc? A receptor is a cell or a group of nerve ending, example skin, that receives stimulus and sends the impulse through nerves to the spinal cord. So, it is the receptor. What are sensory neurons? These detect a signal from the receptor, convert it into impulse and transmit it towards the spinal cord. This is a function of sensory neuron. Now, association neuron. This neuron is contained in the spinal cord. It converts the sensory nerve impulse into a motor nerve impulse. What is motor neuron? And this neuron carries the impulse away from the spinal cord to the effector organ. So, sensory neuron takes it from the effector to the spinal cord. Association neuron, these neurons in the spinal cord which transport the message. Motor neuron, it takes place from the spinal cord to the effector, or it carries the message to the other part of the body. Clear? An effector is the part of a body, example a muscle or a gland, that respond to the stimulus on receiving an impulse from the motor neuron. Certain other reflex actions, example watering of mouth after seeing or getting the smell of your favorite food, that is it can be a biryani as well, or applying brakes in the car, are developed by experience or by learning during our lifetime. Such reflex actions are known as conditional reflex action. Now, if you do not know how to ride a bike, if I put you on a bike and you see a truck coming, you will not apply your brake because you don't even know you need to apply the brake. But if you are a rider or if you can ride a bicycle as well, what happens if a car is coming, you suddenly press the brake. It comes with experience and with learning. This type of reflex actions we will be calling it as conditional reflex action. Clear? Now we will be moving on to endocrine system. Okay, your nervous system or neuron system is over. We will be moving to the the endocrine system, and it is consists of exocrine and endocrine organs as well. See, the endocrine system of the body, the endocrine system of the body controls and coordinates several vital processes such as growth, development and reproduction. It consists of a number of glands which do not have ducts. These are called endocrine glands. So a question also comes, which glands does not have any duct? They are endocrine glands. Clear? There are two types of glands found in human body. What are they? They are exocrine and endocrine glands. What are exocrine glands? The exocrine glands are glands that secrete their products through ducts and deliver it to specific location within the body. For example, sweat glands secrete sweats to be carried out into the skin surface through the sweat ducts. Salivary glands secrete saliva which is released through the ducts into the mouth cavity. The endocrine glands are glands that produce chemical substances called hormones directly into the bloodstreams rather than through the ducts. So exocrine glands contains duct and endocrine glands do not contain duct. They secrete directly in the sense of or in the form of hormones into the bloodstream. Clear? These hormones are picked up by other organs located through the body where they produce specific responses. These organs called target organs are located away from the source of hormone synthesis. For example, adrenaline is a hormone secreted by the adrenal gland and one of its target organ is the heart. The effect of hormones on target organ lasts for a period of time. Hormones always act in very concentration and are required in small quantities. Chemically, most of the hormones are proteins. Their secretions in excess or in low quantities can cause disorder in the body. So, what are the hormones? Hormones are protein components which are secreted in our bloodstream in a very small quantity. Now, their excessive release or lower release contains several problems in our organs or in our body. Okay, we will be learning about that. Important endocrine gland. What are the important endocrine gland? So how questions are going to come from here? Questions are going to come directly that what is the function of say pituitary gland, where it is located. Okay, you will learn like function, location, okay, and what hormones does it secrete. These three things you will be learning from this part of the chapter. Rest nothing is required. Okay. The important endocrine glands in the human body are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland and pancreas. The location, secretion and functions of these glands are mentioned in table 4.1. So, you will be learning that table very thoroughly. I am telling repeatedly, you will be learning that table very thoroughly. Okay. See, pituitary gland is a pea-sized gland located at the base of the brain beneath the hypothalamus and found hanging from it by a short stalk. The pituitary gland is also known as the master gland because it secretes many hormones that stimulate other endocrine glands of the body to release their hormones. So, it is a master organ because this particular organ releases those hormones which affect other of the glands or other of the endocrine system or endocrine glands to get activated. So, it is the master of glands. Okay. For example, the thyroid stimulating hormone TSH released by the pituitary gland stimulates the thyroid glands to secrete thyroxine hormone. Other important hormones secreted by the pituitary glands are growth hormone, ACTH, ADH, prolactin and oxytocin. Okay, these are the particular hormones. Figure 4.6b shows a person with a normal height. Oversecretion of growth hormone in childhood year cause gigantism. A pituitary giant has an abnormally large body stature during the lengthening of the long bones. Undersecretion of growth result in dwarfism. So, gigantism means of of a great height, and dwarfism means of very low height. Okay. Under secretion of antidiuretic hormone cause diabetes insipidus, a condition in which there is an excessive urination and the affected person feel thirsty more often due to loss of water from the body. Now the thyroid gland is a bilobed gland located in front of the neck on either side of the windpipe. Here is the thyroid gland, here and here. Okay. It secretes the hormone thyroxine. Thyroxine regulates the basal metabolic rate growth and mental development of the body. The mineral iodine is required for synthesis of thyroxine. Under secretion of thyroxine hormones leads to a condition called simple goiter. The visible sign of goiter is swelling of the neck as the thyroid glands are enlarged. This occurs due to insufficient intake of iodine in the diet. Now, deficiency of iodine in an infant can cause stunt growth and mental retardation of the baby. This condition is known as cretinism. Okay. Now, you need to understand or you need to learn this condition name as well. Okay. If insufficient thyroxine hormones is secreted in adult, it leads to a condition of myxedema. The symptoms of this disease are reduction in metabolic rate, increase in body weight, and swelling of face and hands due to storage of fluids under the skin. The adrenaline glands, the adrenaline glands are a pair of triangular glands located one on top of each kidney. They secrete the hormones adrenaline and corticosteroids. Okay, or corticosteroids, better to say. The function of adrenaline is to increase the heartbeat and the blood supply to the voluntary muscles. It allows the body to respond and cope with sudden stress, shock, anger and excitement. For this reason, adrenaline is known as the emergency hormones. Corticosteroids helps to control the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats and proteins in the body. They also help to regulate the salt and water balance. Loop of the duodenum. Just a second. Salt and water balance, loop of the duodenum. Okay. It has both exocrine and endocrine function. The exocrine secretion of the pancreas is pancreatic juice, which is carried through the pancreatic duct into the duodenum. The endocrine function is to produce the hormones insulin and glucagon. Insulin is required by the body for the metabolism of glucose or blood sugar. It promotes the uptake of glucose by blood cell and further stimulates the conversion of extra glucose into glycogen in the liver. Glucagon, on the other hand, stimulates the conversion of the glycogen into glucose in the liver, thereby raising the blood sugar level. Insufficient secretion of insulin led to a condition called diabetes mellitus. So, student, please don't get confused with diabetes insipidus and diabetes mellitus. Both are different. The symptoms are excessive urination, urine loaded with sugar, thirst, weight loss and fatigue. This ends your endocrine system. We will be continuing with the adolescence in the next video tutorial, but before that you will be learning this particular table. Okay, this table and here is the rest part of the table. You will be learning this very thoroughly because of the endocrine part. If you go through this table thoroughly, you can attend all the questions, please believe me, because it is summarized here in a very well manner. Okay, so go through your chapter thoroughly, carefully, and like study it, try to understand what I am trying to teach you. If you have any problem, then I always told that please definitely contact me. You can text me, call me, or comment here as well, or even you can send us a mail, anything you want, but please, my motive is that you please go through it. Okay, we will be continuing the rest part of the chapter in the next class. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, have fun, study hard, and take care of your family, take care of yourself. Thank you.